Hello and welcome to Comfortable Shoes Studio. I'm Les, and this is another episode of Art Making. I've been working on these comics inspired panels as little warm ups for my day and little journal entries, and I've been really into them. They've been working really well to kind of set my morning off right. And some of these pages, I've made copies of, and you can find those on my Ko-fi account. So, like, um, this page I scanned and is available as a single download, but then I have a bunch of other pages like these that I scanned before I added to them. Um, and you can get a copy of those on my Ko-fi page. So I did this one, and then I did a couple of warm-ups. So I did this one. So this is a combination of gel pen and paint marker to add color. And then this is more, this is actually, I use Sharpie on this one and paint marker to add the color. So just two pages from the same sort of blank starting space. And I just copied those at work on the copy machine and then added to them. If you do use a laser printer, you'll have to use something like a paint marker or a Sharpie on top of it. So I just found with like more water soluble stuff, the toner just beats it off. So just a tip there. If you use a inkjet or water-based ink, not so much of a problem. But if you add water to it, it might move that ink, which could be really fun. So a bunch of these have been scanned in, and I've got them on my Ko-fi page as a downloadable that is free. Well, pay what you can. So it's potentially free. If you don't want to pay anything for it, you just want to test it out, you can do that. Um, and so you can have a bunch of like these blank pages to add to your journal. You can print them and cut them out. They're basically this size. They're little smaller on the page. I also offered this as a downloadable. But anyway, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to create another spread like this. So it's going to be a combination of collage and words and stuff like that. So I'm going to be quiet and start working. So, or probably not. I probably won't be quiet. I'll talk to myself. So this, to size it, I just fold it over. I don't measure. And then we'll have a nice torn edge, which will get covered up when I clean up the edge with the paint marker. And I think I like that. Really need a bigger art table. That's a goal for the future, I guess. But for now, this will do. Of course, it would help if I kind of cleared off more of my crap. I got too many art supplies. Is there such a thing? Yes, we've talked about this before. Hoarding art supplies. Which doesn't feel like such a bad response right now. All right. Of course, if I put my stuff away, I always forget that my other channel is the R-rated, and this is a PG channel. I try to keep my language a little more clean on this channel because I do know that kids do watch this. I've had a few people reach out to me and tell me that they found my channel when they were a teenager, and yeah, I guess it has meaning to me that I keep this channel a little more family friendly than my other channel, which is my health and wellness account, so that kids can watch it if they want to. You know what? I have some maps. So I am a member of a group on Facebook that they do a lot of recycling things, but I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm a member of this group on Facebook that does recycling stuff, and every now and then people will put really interesting and unique things on that group. And ages ago, someone put up a post about their dad's maps, and I immediately raised my hand, was like, please pick me. I would like your dad's maps. And I arrived in Gloucester, which is a little bit of a drive for me. And there were 2 very large boxes of maps, and I snagged some of them. The maps dated back to like the early 80s. And there was stuff like this in there. And I kept a small amount of them, just the stuff that I thought I would use. And I took the rest of the maps into work, and well, that didn't work. I've been using them with the kids ever since. Maps are just, I mean, they're so cool. Like, that's great texture, right? Like, so good. So yeah, how am I going to use this? Honestly, my scissors. Yeah, I've been keeping this character's face like mostly in black and white. So I think, yeah, we're going to do some alteration to this. So let's alter it. And what I want to do is, so this is very sharply black and white. And what I want to do is dull that down a little bit, or my paint sticks. And I'm going to use my new favorite material here. The poster paint sticks, tempera sticks, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to not particularly carefully go over just to dull it down a little bit. I don't know if you can even see that on camera, but that definitely dulls, just kind of lightens it a little bit. And then it'll take a minute to dry. Kind of reawaken some of the glue that was on this page. I'm actually going to hit this with the, so let's see. Here's the now kind of muted version of it, and here's the original. It's quite a bit more muted. Probably do another layer, but I think I'm going to leave that as is. Trying to get a nice thick coat of that glue stick. Let's bring this back over. Really should have cleared off my table before starting. All right, so the character is going to go there. And I think I want to make some like word bubbles. So these pages have been largely Actually, I kind of like, I think I'm going to use some of this. Pink, I'll do the pink as word bubbles. Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to give myself a little bit. And this is pretty heavy paper, so it's pretty hard to cut with the scissors. Probably should have tried an X-Acto knife for this instead of scissors. Maybe drawn it out. I do have on here a self-healing cutting mat, which is what this is intended to be used for. Let's set all that aside here. And of course I'm knocking stuff over. It wouldn't be an episode of art making if I didn't knock things off my desk, because I'm disorganized today. Actually, I say today, but I'm not always disorganized. I just am lately. All right, a little X-Acto knife. All right, so I'm just going to kind of freehand a flame pattern. Yeah. And this knife, the blade, is that a number 16? The number 16 blades are my favorite over a number 11 because I have heavy hands. And what I mean by that is I tend to use more pressure than is necessary for cutting something like this out. So I have a tendency to snap off. There we go. There's a nice flame. I have a tendency to snap off X-Acto blades. Like the tip of my number 11 blades are always trashed very quickly. So there's a good flame. Do we need more? Or maybe what we do, oh, I kind of like that. I like that a lot. So we're going to make the bottom half of that page with that. All right, here we go again. So I'm going to trim that and trim that, and then this. Okay. Cut right along there, and also oops. It actually shows you a little ahead of time what I want to do. I do prefer torn edges to cut edges in my journal. They're softer. I like them better. So I'm going to just kind of tear out this stuff, this yellow. Like that. And I want a little bit of rid of those little bits. And we'll glue that there like that. That works. Actually, I think I'm gonna trim that right off. Hopefully I'm staying on camera. I have switched my camera from the Osmo Action 3 to the Osmo Action 5 here. There we go. So I'm still getting accustomed to the, I'm going to use a liquid glue for this time. And so I'm still getting used to like where I am on the camera. This is heavier paper, I think. I'll do a little better with this liquid glue just to hold it in place. The magazine pages and stuff, they do all right with the glue stick, but this heavy stuff, it needs something a little stronger, something with a little more oomph to hold it in place. All right, so we're gonna glue that down. So that's sort of our background flames, and then we'll have our foreground flame, and I'm going to use a liquid glue for that, but I also, before I do that, I'm going to hit it with some of this paint stick along the edge there, just to kind of differentiate it from the yellow behind it. There's a little bit of pink there, but I think it needed a little more. And I need a scrap. I'm just going to use the back of that, I guess. Yeah, that dried so fast. Oh, there we go. Little watercolor. So on watercolor paper, this poster, the tempera paint activates a lot better. Ooh, I'm getting some pilling. That's not pretty. All right. I'm going to hit that with a heat gun, and then we'll glue that down. All right, now that I think I've got that dry, oh yeah, that's nice and dry. So I can rub off some of the pills, a little bit, not much. Okay. All right. I do like this pen tip on the Tombow Mono liquid glue, but if you're looking for a budget version of it, I can't find it right now, but I did a Dollar Tree, a video about Dollar Tree materials, and the Dollar Tree sells a adhesive liquid glue with a pen tip that is actually quite spectacular. It's really, really good stuff. All right, there we go. We got our fire, we got our flames, we got our background flames, and we got our character up there in the corner. I want to do some word bubbles. Not thought bubbles, but word bubbles. And I think I'm going to do them in these pink and purple shades, because I think that's going to stand out nice, because I want the character to be saying things. actually. And I do want to use as much of this paper as I can. I think this I'll be able to use these scissors to get a nice cut. And what I really need to do is put on my reading glasses so that I can actually see this stuff as I'm working. Because the reason I keep bringing it closer to me is so that I can see it with my bifocals, which is a clear sign of aging, right? Like my earlier videos, I've been making videos for how long now? But in my earlier videos, I think I'm gonna trim that so it's like that, or I don't really want to cover the flames. No, I think, oh, there we go, just like that. That's perfect. I don't want to cover the flames here. I want to have a couple of word bubbles, but I'm not exactly sure what the character is going to be saying yet. Let's actually work on the character. What have I done with my paint markers? One moment, please. To quote Big Clive. Big Clive. If you haven't ever watched Big Clive, he does these videos about taking apart electronics. One of the many things I enjoy about YouTube is some of the weird stuff that pops up to watch, and yeah. Anyway, what I was saying about Big Clive is that he always says, "One moment, please," when he pauses things to go do something off screen. So, hence my "one moment, please." It's a Big Clive quote. Actually, I gotta see if I can. Oh, good. Thank goodness. I can slide that a little closer to me because it was uncomfortably far away for my ability to draw. It was uncomfortable. All right, here's that character. And I don't like what I did to the nose right here. Kind of got a little lumpy, so we're gonna add that in, add in a little white, make it look on purpose. And there we go. All right, now, question is, do I want to outline the bubble? I think I'm just gonna leave it, the word bubble. I don't think I want to outline that. Yeah. I also don't know. Yeah, I can trim off. As much as I don't want to lose too much of the bubble or overlap the flames, I can trim it. I think what I might do just trim that off and glue it in elsewhere. Nothing says we have to keep it exactly as it has been. So we can put that there, and then we can glue that little arrow underneath just like that. That's the solution. Again, I'm going to use this and put a little dot. So the hard part about this collage paper is I did use some wax-based media, and that can be a problem for gluing because wax-based media doesn't like to stick to other things. All right. So if you feel the need to like spread that out, there is a little bit of a spready tip. Other things I'm trying to be less fussy about. I'm trying to be less fussy with my glue application because this is a journal, this is a sketchbook. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I don't like it when glue blobs out around the page, particularly since I will be scanning this in, and I think I wanted it like that. There we go. And glue blobs in scans are just particularly ugly, in my opinion. Maybe you like glue blobs. All right, I'm gonna cut an oval out of this pink to fit in there because I want a couple of word bubbles. And again, that's gonna I think I really want to transition it into purple though. Just gonna tag that in place, like so. Okay. All right. I think I want one more word bubble. But I don't have a ton of space. I think maybe I'll use that. Hopefully I have enough stuff to write in all of these. All right, I do think it's going to be hard to write on this particular paper. This paper has a really pronounced texture that you can probably see down here, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. I did have some thoughts on what I wanted to write on this page. I'm gonna hit pause for a second. All right, here we go. This is the quote that I want to use. Resistance and change often begin in art. Ursula K. Le Guin said it in 2014. So let's figure out resistance, change often begin in art. Okay. I'm going to use a slow journaling technique that I learned from Daisy Yellow. She called it slow journaling, and basically it's just you create lines and then you work within those lines. I'm not going to be that strict with it in this case because I don't need nor want to be. Oops. Crap. So this paper is pretty pulpy, and the texture is being picked up by the paint marker nib. And I fouled it up again. I am not good at spelling. And once I make a spelling mistake, I tend to make more. So as you can tell, I am not being very strict about my slow journaling. These collage pieces did not have a very, well, there are some really defined areas, but this one is not. So I'm just kind of going with it. All right, I like that. I'm gonna try and clean some of the fibers. Yeah, that's pretty fibery. All right, I like that. Now I gotta clean it up. This paint marker is almost out of juice. I'll get have to come back in and clean that up. So sometimes the paint markers are like the perfect thing for an edge, and then this one's pretty chunky because these collage pieces are very thick compared to what I usually use for collage. Usually my collage stuff is thin magazine pages and the like, so coming in here and cleaning this up with this particular paint marker is a little more difficult, or it's made more difficult because the it doesn't slide over the top of the thick chunky stuff as easily as it does the thin stuff. So just a thing to keep in mind if you're gonna do this, and I guess that's a note to myself. And also, like that, it's going over the top of that, and it's pulling a lot of fibers out of that paper. All right, so there we go. That's a quick little journal page and quote for the day. And a reminder for myself that resistance and change often begin in the art. And Ursula K. Le Guin was specifically talking about politics and resistance to the world at large. And I don't want to get canceled by YouTube, but you know, the time we live in, it's important that we artists are making art about being on the right side of history and not the wrong side of history. and governments go for the artists first. You know, they destroy art. They destroy presses. They destroy things that can be used to speak out about resistance and for change. So with that, I'll leave you with that. And thanks for being here. I appreciate your support. If you would like to get copies of these pieces, it will be scanned and put up on my Ko-fi shop on a pay what you can basis. And if I'm happy if you don't pay anything, I do ask that you do something that's free. Just follow my Ko-fi account. You will get if you become a member, there are membership perks, and those membership perks are you get my writing and things like that in advance of other people. I do post a lot of publicly available things, which then get posted to my blog over at Comfortable Shoes Studio a month later. So you get everything a month in advance on my Ko-fi shop, and a lot more content. So yeah, give me a follow on Ko-fi. Check out my blog if you just want to read what I'm up to and my thoughts and interests over creativity and all of that. Anyway, with that, I'm just going to say thanks, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.